This wasn't just a friendly exchange between the master and his former apprentice. This was a passing of the torch. For about 3.5 years, Mikel Arteta was Pep Guardiola's right-hand man, the secret weapon in Manchester City's tactical war room. But what if I told you that Arteta didn't just learn from Guardiola, he stole his secret blueprint? In this video, we are breaking down the playbook, the specific drills, the obsessive strategies, and the revolutionary tactics that Arteta took from City and used to transform Arsenal into a title contending force. This is the story of how the apprentice secretly mastered the master's plan, piece by piece, right under his nose. To understand this heist, you first have to understand the inside man. When Mikel Arteta retired as a player, he joined Manchester City's coaching staff in 2016. From the outside, it looked like a student joining his mentor. But inside the walls of the Etihad campus, it was so much more. Arteta wasn't just another assistant, he was an obsessive student and a vital part of the machine. Guardiola himself was impressed by Arteta's sharp analytical mind long before they even worked together. When City and Arsenal faced off in Pep's first season, Guardiola leaned on Arteta so heavily for his tactical insight on Arsenal that he essentially told the players, "Listen to Mikel, he knows them better than I do." It was this level of trust and responsibility that gave Arteta unprecedented access. He wasn't just observing, he was actively in the trenches, working one-on-one with players, helping them grasp key concepts. He famously helped improve the game of wingers like Leroy Sané and Raheem Sterling, modifying training drills to be more game realistic. According to insiders, his job was to find what's missing in a player's game and give them the tools to get better. This was the perfect cover. While Guardiola was focused on winning titles, his most trusted lieutenant was deep in the tactical details, absorbing every strategy, every training session, every single tweak. He was building his own philosophy, but with Guardiola's proven materials, the apprentice was in reality a reconnaissance mission. The first and most critical piece of the blueprint Arteta nabbed is the very foundation of Guardiola's football, the build-up play. For years, we've all watched Manchester City dominate games by building from the back with a fluid, almost unstoppable structure. For Arteta, this isn't just about looking pretty, it's about control. The goal is to draw opponents forward, stretch their shape, and create openings further up the pitch. The secret? It's a shape-shifting formation. In possession, both City and now Arsenal often morph from a standard 4-3-3 into an attacking 2-3-5 or 3-2-5 structure. How do they pull it off? The key is the inverted fullback. Arteta has openly admitted to borrowing this tactic, which he saw Guardiola perfect first at Bayern Munich and then at City. Instead of hugging the touchline, a fullback like Alexander Zinchenko, who Arteta strategically brought with him from City, moves into central midfield. This one move creates a domino effect. It adds an extra body to the middle of the pack, overwhelming the opposition's press and allowing the ball to move forward cleanly. Arsenal uses this to form a stable 5-player base to build from. But this isn't a carbon copy, it's a clever adaptation. Where City might invert both fullbacks, Arteta initially had Granit Xhaka drop deep, which allowed the left back to push high and wide, creating the same 2-3-5 shape with different players. It's the same core principle, lifted from the master's book and brilliantly reapplied. By controlling the build-up Arteta seized control of the game's rhythm, just as he has seen Guardiola do season after season. With the foundation laid, Arteta moved to the next page of the playbook, dominating space through positional play. This is the core of the juego de position philosophy that both he and Pep learned at Barcelona. The pitch is divided into zones, and the team is structured to create constant passing triangles and find space between the opponent's lines. But Arteta didn't just copy this. He zeroed in on one of its deadliest applications, the wide overload. A key tactic in this system, heavily influenced by Guardiola, is to create and exploit overloads in wide areas. This is where the now famous Saka zone on the right-hand side comes into play. By having players like Martin Odegaard and Ben White drift towards Bukayo Saka, Arsenal creates a 3 versus 2 or even 4 versus 3 situation on the flank. This forces the other team's defense to break its shape as they scramble to stop the immediate threat. This either frees up Saka in a one-on-one he's likely to win, or it creates huge unguarded space on the opposite side of the pitch for a quick switch-off play. This is pure Guardiola DNA. For years, City have used this exact method to pull teams apart, creating space for players like Kevin De Bruyne and David Silva. Arteta took this concept of creating superiority through smart positioning and drilled it into his young Arsenal squad. The fluid rotations, the intelligent movement, the creation of overload, it was all part of the stolen plan, designed to pull the defense apart, one clever move at a time. If you're enjoying this breakdown of the Arteta's playbook, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. We go deep on football tactics every week, and we do love to have you as part of the community. For years, let's be honest, Arsenal was seen as technically gifted but defensively fragile. Arteta knew that to truly compete, he needed the final piece of Guardiola'S blueprint, the relentless, suffocating defensive system. This isn't just about sitting back, it's about proactive, organized aggression. First up is the high press like City. Arsenal under Arteta now press with clear, coordinated triggers. These triggers could be a backward pass, a bad touch from an opponent, or a player getting the ball in an isolated area. The goal isn't just to cause chaos, it's a highly organized hunt aimed at winning the ball back high up the pitch. The forwards are the first line of defense, and Arteta demands the close-down defenders to set pressing traps. In recent seasons, Arsenal have consistently ranked among the top teams for high turnovers and passes per defensive action, a metric that shows just how intense a team's press is. The second and maybe more important element is the rest defense. This is what the team shape looks like while they are attacking. That 2-3-4-5, that 2-3-5 or 3-2-5 structure isn't just for scoring goals. It's a safety net. It's a safety net that ensures when the ball is lost, 5 players are already in position to immediately counter-press and shut down transitions. This structure, which Arteta helped coach at City, allowed the team to sustain pressure and suffocate opponents in their own half. In his first few years, Arteta experimented with more pragmatic defensive low blocks, especially when he didn't have the right players, but that was just a temporary fix. Once he acquired players with the right physical and tactical profiles like William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, and Declan Rice, he fully implemented the aggressive, front-footed defensive machine he had watched get built at Manchester City. And just like that, the heist was complete. The build-up machine, the positional overloads, and the suffocating press, all key components of Guardiola's dynasty, were now fully installed at the Emirates, and you can't argue with the results. Arsenal transformed from a team fighting for an European spot into a genuine title contender, pushing City to the very end in back-to-back seasons. Arteta didn't just copy the tactics. He implemented the culture of obsession and detail he witnessed firsthand at City. He built a team in his own image, but with Guardiola'S blueprint as his guide. The narrative of an apprentice just being one step behind the master is starting to change. In head-to-head clashes, Arteta has shown he can outmaneuver his mentor using the very principles he learned to break City's system. The 0-0 draw at the Etihad in 2024 was a tactical masterclass in control and defensive solidity, a result that felt like a victory for the apprentice. While some argue he's just copying Pep, the fact that he has beaten Guardiola on multiple occasions suggests he has not just learned the system, but mastered it. So, did Mikel Arteta truly steal Pep Guardiola's secret blueprint? The evidence is overwhelming. From the 2-3-5 build-up and inverted fullbacks to the choreographed pressing triggers and wide overloads, the tactical DNA is identical. But let's be clear, this was no simple copy-paste job. It was a meticulous, patient process of learning, adapting, and ultimately implementing a revolutionary football philosophy. Arteta spent his years at Manchester City as the perfect apprentice, absorbing the knowledge that will allow him to turn his vision for Arsenal into a reality. He saw what it takes to build a dominant team, and he took that knowledge with him to London. Guardiola himself has praised Arteta as an extraordinary coach, a quiet admission that his student has reached the very highest level. The question now is no longer whether the apprentice stole the plans. The question is, has he started to perfect them? Let me know in the comments below. Has Arteta surpassed his master, or is Pep still holding a few secrets back? Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.